Hello and welcome back to another book review with Alice. I, of course, am your host, Alice. Today we are going to talk about A Game of Retribution by Scarlett St. Clair. Now, for those who don't know, A Game of Retribution is kind of book 5 in her set, but the way Scarlett's books work are these 3 books here are from, it's a retelling of Hades and Persephone. These 3 are Persephone's point of view, going touch of darkness, touch of ruin, a touch of malice, and then the Hades point of view books line up with these books. So A Game of Retribution is the Hades point of view of A Touch of Ruin, which is a lot of fun because if you like romance books that have 2 point of views, this is really great because it gives you an entire book with the male point of view, which was a lot of fun, to be honest. I really did enjoy that. I like dual point of views, so having an entire book for Hades' point of view really gives you more in-depth because it's not just the story we're following with Persephone. You get all the side stuff that happens when Hades is gone, and he's gone a lot in the book from Persephone's side, so it's very cool to see just how much he's gotten into when he comes back and he's flustered and frazzled, and you're like, boy, why can't you just stick around? Now we know why, and he got into a lot of crap in these books, I'm going to tell you. So I ended up giving this book 4 stars. It is a fantasy romance. The genres, or I guess not genres, but the tropes in it are soulmates, mythology retelling, age gap, grumpy sunshine, the mentor, her turn die vibes, stuck together. These are my takes. Other people I'm sure will have other ones. Some of the really positive, like the pros for it are, it is very Greek mythology, so there's lots of more characters in it. They're including some of the more obscure ones, which is really fun because a lot of times Greek mythology retellings just have the big names that everybody recognizes. This one has a lot of different names that not necessarily everybody will recognize, even 1 or 2 that I had to look up. There's more struggles and issues facing the characters, which is a whole lot of fun. There's a deeper understanding of the issues that Persephone faced in her book because seeing it from Hades' point of view and him seeing just how much she crumbles. Some of the cons were that some of the newer characters I felt they weren't fleshed out as much because they came and left in such a quick segment. There's also a scene from the Persephone book that it resolved there were quite a few scenes that in Persephone's book were critical and were large and detailed, and in this one it was almost like there were afterthoughts or blinks in the story, which was frustrating because when you're reading the big important plot points in Persephone's point of view, you wonder what Hades is thinking, and when it's a 1-line blop and you barely even recognize that that is what connected to the other book, it's a little frustrating because you want more of a connection between the 2. But I mean, I really did enjoy it. Hades got into like I said, he got into so many different things in Persephone's timeline for her book that it was really kind of fun to see just how much he got into and just what he was doing exactly to work on their relationship and to build them as a couple, which you hadn't realized. And so it was interesting to see how these things lined up with Persephone's point of view. In 1 or 2 cases, it felt like they didn't, and this was just kind of an afterthought creation. I don't even know if the author had intended to do these books or if decided to do them after they had written the 3 books, so I have no idea. But sometimes the story feels as if it was always planned to have the 2 point of views and that they just did it this way. Other times it felt like it was something they decided to do after the fact, and so the timeline doesn't match 100%. But that just could be the way that I'm reading it as well, and that I'm missing something. There's no guarantee for that. But it was fun to see the 2 sides with all the different variables and that, and I love this. There are specific side characters in the series that I enjoy so very much. Hecate, Cerberus, and the dogs. I do like the fact that in this particular retelling, the dogs, Cerberus, Orus, and I forget the last one with the T, in normal Greek mythology, they have different numbers of heads and they guard the underworld. In this one, they all are normal dogs, but they have the ability to merge into one giant 3-headed dog, which is cool, and I love the concept of that. That makes me very happy as someone who likes a lot of mythology stuff. So yeah, as I said, I give this book 4 stars. If you like mythology retellings and you like smutty books, they're very smutty, so if you don't like smutty, don't touch them. But if you like smutty and you love Greek mythology, check them out. The first book tells you the order to read them in. I read all Persephone's and I'm going back to Hades now, which might be why I'm struggling a little bit with how everything lines up, but I'm still enjoying them nonetheless. I think they're a lot of fun. So yeah, definitely check them out. And I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for stopping by. Happy reading!